This hangout is live, says Google. Welcome to An Englishman in San Diego with myself, Leonard Sultana. It is, let me see if I can just pull up the stats, because I've got it on a page somewhere, because we're 50 weeks and 3 days to San Diego Comic-Con 2016. This is the first episode of the new run from 2015 to San Diego 2016. Last week we did our wrap-up, and with a month gone now since San Diego, I think we can safely put that one to bed and look further forward. Welcome along to the Hangout. It's live at 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. here in the UK. And we are talking Comic-Con. We're not only talking San Diego Comic-Con, we're also going to be talking about other events as well. So if there's anything that you want to talk about when it comes to the con, do jump in when it comes to the Q&A, which you can find in the Google Plus event. Jump in there and also let us know what you want to talk about today. But also you can give us a shout on Twitter by using the hashtag #CupOTSDCC. We would love to hear what you want to talk about today. We already have one or two people in the Q&A as well. We've got ourselves Paris Flanagan, that's a new name, good to have them away. We also have Neil Williamson, who's part of the UK attendees group, who I know is absolutely getting prepared for the pre-reg badge sale. That's going to get covered in today's show as well. Don't worry, we are going to be talking about looking forward to San Diego Comic-Con 2016. That you can hear in the background is a crowd, and that's where I kind of now turn to my first guest today, Alyssa Franks from the Friends of CC Forum. That's Alyssa Franks' forehead. Hello, forehead. Captain
Well,
Forehead,
I'm trying to get it framed up right.
It's a little bit quiet at her end. We are going to try and get the volume a little bit louder, but I do know that it's very busy and crowded where she is because she's at Boston Comic-Con. Have you been there the whole weekend? Oh,
I have been. I am in the back of the hall.
Okay.
Sorry. There we go. I'm in the back hall. We're supposed to be halfway decent, trying to get good pictures of all of the amazing cosplay. That is of this con for me has been much thought and preparation has gone in by all of the members, the attendees, into cosplay. You might mark now for a moment an announcement on the floor.
This is the pros and cons of doing outside broadcast, because we're going to be getting hopefully some great pictures as she's wandering around Boston Comic Con, but it's cutting out a little bit, but we'll bear with that and we'll see how we do. Hopefully Alyssa's going to be having a wander around and telling us about what she's spotted at Boston so far, but we'll do that in a second. We also have ourselves Mark Searby, who has joined us for the first time in a while. How are you doing, Mark?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm all good. I'm recovered from Comic-Con this year, so it's going okay now.
It's got to be said, I've been speaking to a bunch of people when it comes to Comic-Con this year, and the post-con funk definitely hit hard for a lot of people. It was very, very severe. How long did it take you to kind of shake it all off?
Well, I managed to, for the first time ever, get what they affectionately term con crud on the Saturday, whilst I was sat in Hall H all day. So Sunday I was very snivelly and whatever else, and then even during the holiday in San Diego afterwards, I still managed to keep hold of it, and coming back to England, I still had it. It's only disappeared over the past 4 or 5 days.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, while we've got you to hand, I mean, can we talk about your Comic-Con this year? What did you get up to?
Wow, I mean, do you know what? I say this every year. I always say that was better than last year, and you know, the next year that was better than last year. Honestly, this year I had so much fun. It was the best year yet for me. I got to see all of the panels that I wanted to see, bar one of them. I got to meet loads of people. I got to drink beer during Comic-Con as well. It was just a complete blast from start to finish, and I wasn't stretching myself or anything like that. It was just great. It was really good.
Excellent. I know as well that you were kind of doing some bits and pieces. Were you doing any press this year? Because
No.
You were literally just going to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, and I did, and then I came back and did a couple of roundups for a few people and stuff like that. But no, I'm just there to enjoy myself. I've seen how hard press work. You know, I saw yourself running around the exhibit hall on a Sunday. I've got to be here in 20 minutes. I'm thinking, well, you've got 25 minutes to get there yet. So, you know, I'm pleased I didn't do that.
Yes, it was a little bit hard work, I will admit, but it's great to. I always like speaking to people who just went to enjoy themselves. So it's really good to because I bumped into you on the Monday after con, and you were just looking so chilled out, and that you just kind of I'm in the pub, and I'm just having a great time.
Oh, let me ask, was that the time when we were drinking and you offered to have a fight with a traffic meter? Is that right?
Yes, that would be the one, yes, because the traffic meter started, and listen, someone can pick on me, that's fine, but I finish it, all right? And I don't care if you are a metal pole in the ground. If you're going to start with me, I'm going to finish it.
There was a lot of silence on that street in San Diego when those words were shouted, I've got to say.
It was so much fun because yes, that is my kind of thing where if I trip up, I was like, "Come on, then, you're starting." At which point I said that out, and yes, this family in the pub or the restaurant that we were passing did kind of look at the strange English person who was ready to pick a fight with an inanimate object. That was particularly amusing. So yes, that was fun. So I mean, if you could pick we did this with our guest last week. If you could pick 3 highlights, then I mean, it sounded it was a very busy week for you.
Wow, 3.
Can you nail it down to 3?
Not really. There were, I mean, even the average stuff, even the average panels that we saw, Minority Report mentioned in one of them, they were still enjoyable. You were still in the room. I mean, particularly being in the room for Deadpool and obviously Batman vs Superman, because I'm a huge Batman fan. That's cool. But then also, being in the room when Ron Perlman's going off on one about why nobody is making Hellboy 3. I mean, that's kind of cool as well. And I think he picked up the mantra of Del Toro swearing, because Ron Perlman loves to swear, so he was doing that. It was just great, and all the people as well. I must mention this actually, Leonard. All the people who I met, and I really must thank loads and loads of people. I know we haven't got time, but anybody who said hello to me or anything like that, I've got to thank them, because it was so nice to, get stopped and everybody have a little chat and stuff like that. It was just nice. It was a good time. It really was.
What, from being recognised?
It was good. I enjoyed it. People wanted to talk, and as you pointed out to me, some of my opinions are not necessarily in tune with some people. So, but it was nice because we had a little conversation and whatever else, and then they would go off or something like that. So it was good fun. It really was. Even going to the Friends of CC dinner on the Sunday evening, where I wasn't invited, but I had to drop by for what was meant to be 5 minutes and turned into 45 minutes, because myself and we were just talking to everybody. It was great, and actually seeing Alyssa in the flesh as well. All of this.
It was nice meeting you, Mark. I really appreciated that. I knew exactly who you were, but you look so much more fleshed out and in real life than on the screen, which was brilliant. How is my audio now?
That's fantastic. Thank you very much indeed, Alyssa.
Great,
yes,
great.
It's got to be said, I know that, so the one thing that I had a lot of people coming up to me at Comic-Con, and the first thing they said was, "Oh my God, how tall are you?" So I did have that. But the one thing that I will say about Mark is he's such a weird fella. He's such a weird little fella. Oh, it was great. It's great to meet you in the flesh for the first time. It was fantastic. So obviously a lot of running around and lots of highlights. But are you going to be going back next year?
Well, you know, the first year we went, we was like, look, this is a once in a lifetime holiday, and then we were like, hey, let's go back next year because we can slightly afford it. And then obviously we went back last year, and then we were like, well, we could do it again in 2015, and obviously we did it again in 2015. But yeah, listen, I'm going to take the unofficial James Bond film of never say never again. Okay, so that's easy for me to get out of it all.
Fair enough. Excellent stuff.
That
Thank
is
you very
the
much
best.
for that. What was that song? Was that Alyssa?
That is the best policy. Just, you know, you've gotta just say, you know, I'm gonna go to these cons and just enjoy it. And if the money doesn't work out one year, just figure you'll go on to the next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like
You
a
know.
plan.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I mean,
Just
yeah,
milling about, I am.
Yeah, what I'm really liking as well is you've got people just sort of like staring at you as if say, why is that person pointing a camera at me?
Exactly. Well, I'm trying to catch the cosplayers too, so that you can see. That's been the really surprise for me, has been just the fabulous cosplaying that's been going around. They've got a whole area upstairs. I don't know if you can see back at the back of the hall. I'm walking towards the escalators now. It goes up to the second floor and then the third floor. You've got Stan Lee on the third floor, which is, that was a trip, getting getting all of, yeah, exactly. This is, I mean, these are good costumes too.
I'm sorry, but I'm actually picturing that scene in Bruce Almighty where there's the empty office space and just a table in the middle of it and Stanley just there. That's what I'm
No, it's a huge room. Probably, you know, if chairs were set up, it's probably a 500-person room, and it's just people waiting in line to get Stan Lee's signature. And that was like one of 5 or 6 autograph sessions that he was doing yesterday and today. An amazing stamina.
So basically, what you're saying is the people are queuing up for one of the 5 or 6 Stanley clones which are out there because it's the only way that he does all the things that he does. It's incredible.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we did a technical test yesterday, and I was also thrown by just how many cosplayers are on the floor in front of you. Although I do quite like the comment that's coming on the Q&A. Paris Flanagan, I think I just saw Carmen Sandiego. I win. Nice. Excellent stuff. So yeah, we've got a constant picture of a rogue directly in front of us, which is okay. The thing is, I was going to say yes, she is turned away from us, so we've got a constant picture of Rogue's backside on screen at the moment. So okay,
that's the additional Rogue cut.
I will try and get a front picture here. Absolutely. So since everybody is requesting it, we can do that.
Excellent.
Since she's standing in place.
Okay. Oh, and just go say hi. Hello. Oh, and Scarlet Witch as well. Oh. So you can now tell her that she's broadcasting to the world.
We have.
Wow.
And there we go. Wow. And now we've got, and this is, I mean, I am just literally just panning around. And then we've got another group of cosplayers, Supergirl and Batman.
How many? How many people go to Boston?
I am not sure how many people are here. It's it's full. It absolutely feels like the floor was overly packed yesterday, Saturday afternoon at around 1. I took a few hours off and actually took a break and got lunch.
I tell you something that I'm really thrilled to see as well is there's plenty of kids.
Yes, there is a lot of kids here.
Excellent.
And and some excellent cosplay. They've got they've got a lot of
the two things that I felt that were kind of missing from San Diego this year. It seems to be there's lots of at Boston, which is the cosplayers and the kids, which is great.
Mm-hmm. It has that feeling of conventions a couple of years ago that have really hit popularity, but it still feels accessible. Tickets didn't sell out for Saturday until, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. Sunday tickets you could purchase at the door. And you see the crowd that's here on Sunday. I spoke with a gentleman who was in management from the con yesterday and last night, and he was saying there's plenty of tickets. Want to come? And I have to say, this morning, it was nice to have a little bit of breathing room. I was doing my last minute, and have been posting all of my pictures on the Boston Comic-Con thread in the forum. So you'll see the what I've been spending my money on, and I won't say out loud because people who know me may use it against me in the future when they want something. So we're not going to even mention how much I spent on a comic book yesterday. Moving on.
Well, I mean, what's the artist alley like at this particular event?
The artist alley is, there's not a lot of silver age people or bronze, early bronze. I'm right in front of Steve Leiber's and Jason Latour's booth. You've also got Brian Azelio, whose name I can never pronounce. I got Scott Schneider's signature. I do. One of the things you'll note on the thread is that they do a Boston Comic-Con poster, which I have always gotten signed by a number of the artists in Artist Alley, which has been, those go up on my wall. It's just, fabulous. So I'm taking a little wander. I've got Norman Lee, Nick Bradshaw, Charles Wilson III.
Cool. One
One of the neat things that a gentleman did, Dave Peterson, I'm going to see if he's there. No, he must be doing a panel. Right, all with,
oh, mouse guard.
right, all, sorry.
All the IDW guys, excellent stuff.
Yep, exactly. One of the artists yesterday, and can you still hear me? They're doing an announcement.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's
okay.
It's cutting out every once in a while, but no, we've got you.
Good. One of the artists had a tag on the back of his art table that he was working on in his booth, and the tag said, "Don't please bother me. Doing art is lonely work, and I need somebody to talk to." So in our continuing conversation about how to approach artists who, at con, who are busy working, I thought that was brilliant.
Excellent.
I mean, because obviously he was one of the smaller guys and wanted to do the wanted to do more selling. Needed to do more selling.
Just to interrupt, I just spotted there. Did I just see a sign for Scott Ian?
Yes.
Okay. What's he doing there? Oh, is he just one of the special guests?
I am not sure.
Oh, okay.
There is a table, a blank table, so he may indeed be showing up here.
Well, I mean, Scott Ian,
I do not know.
This is where I'm now going to show my incredible perceptive powers as a DJ and completely forget which band he's from. But I want to say, that's going to really bug me. Someone help me out on the Q&A. Tell me who Scott Ian's with. He's Guitarist. He's one guitarist with one of the major rock bands. But anyway, but I don't know why he's in the Artist Alley. I don't know if he's writing.
He was in Anthrax.
Anthrax. Thank you. But I didn't know if he was.
Oh my!
Writing.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So that's okay. That's really cool.
We're just getting.
Oh, Joshua Williamson.
Yeah.
I am.
Who did Ghosted and Birthright.
Yep.
So we've been. I got his signature too.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is the basic Artist Alley feel.
You've got some serious. You've got some names there. That's for certain.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of cosplay, we have somebody who's taking up a lot of space here in front of me.
Yes, that would be Elsa. That would be Elsa from Frozen, and everyone's trying to move around her. Isn't that fun?
Yes. Yes, and you gotta love the ladies who do the all of the trains. Those have been a real problem here. Bob Gilroy, John Lehman, Chew of Chew fame.
Excellent. Yes, I mean, I seem to remember at the talkback at Comic-Con this year, there was that person who said, "Can we please stop having trains for dresses everywhere?" And this bloke at the back said, "Okay, I'll see if I can do something about that."
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't cosplay, so I'm not one to talk. You know, I really shouldn't be dictating. This is one of my favorite booths here. It's the knockoff booth. Just a gazillion of the minifigs. I've seen about three or four of these booths that have that just have. Let me see if I can.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get it.
Kick him out of the way.
I can do that.
Wow.
Okay. I had a long conversation with this gentleman earlier about his Legos and told him that I was going to come back and film them. So he was just giving me a hard time, kind of like you guys do before the show.
Excellent. So I mean, what's the would you say is the main focus of Boston Comic Con in terms of how it's constructed? Is it a panel-based thing, or is it more about the floor?
It's more about the floor. The half of the convention that I can't get to because of poor signal strength is all of the comic vendors. Still, they still are a numerous amounts of comic based booths here. They haven't been pushed out of the way. We've seen maybe, I want to say 2 or 3 of the artist alleys, and we've got another 10 to go. And there are panels. I did get just another excellent penguin. I did get to see Mario Bennett last night, so you are getting some celebrity talent. They've got Haley Atwell here too. They had a couple of really good Marvel panels. Mario Bennett from Arrow and Crixus from Spartacus was. Oh, and we missed the. Sorry, had to get the Captain America cosplay.
You see, now this is where I thought we were going to be getting lots of Spider-Gwens. It's all about Agent Carter, isn't it? That's just.
It's all about Agent Carter. Getting a lot of Agent Carter. Absolutely. And they've got a huge area upstairs that's also geared for cosplayer photographs. I don't know if there's an actual schedule. I'm sorry?
That's interesting, because it's something that I think I suggested on a thread once for San Diego, to actually have a dedicated photography shooting area for cosplayers, at which point I had a whole bunch of cosplayers saying, no, we don't want to be shunted into a corner on our own. We want to be on the floor. We want to be interacting with everyone else. But I put it forward as an idea. But it's good that there's a dedicated professional shooting area. So that's good. So that's cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've also got invited to another smaller con that's going to be happening in a couple of weeks in southern New Hampshire, which I think I'm going to actually go to. But in 2 weeks, there's also another con in Connecticut that has got some pretty good talent. A bunch of my comic signature friends are going to be heading down for that one. So,
what's it like for? I mean, what's the balance between kind of actual comics stuff and then those tables that, quite frankly, tap?
Sorry, I couldn't resist that one for you guys. Thought you would appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you know, I am sensitive towards the male.
I'm married. I'm not supposed to look at things
Go
like
ahead.
this.
No. Just because we're married doesn't mean we can't look. Ben Temple Smith is here. Michael Chu, Sean Murphy, Dave Johnson, Tim Sale.
Oh, wow.
That was looking at a piece of his artwork. He's right back there.
Excellent.
So, doing signings.
Always going to be a popular.
This is absolutely.
Excellent.
So we were talking about going on to thinking about what's going to happen for pre-reg and the next year's cons, and I got to think that it's all given the popularity here, that we're getting here, that we're going to end up having an even harder time for badges.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So I'm kind of not looking forward to the bloodbath of pre-reg. But
well, yeah. I mean, let's get into that, shall we? Because obviously we've got. Oh, hang on a second. The thing is, Alyssa keeps pointing the camera at stuff, and then I have to keep going back because I'm giggling. What on earth is that?
Yes, that is very cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, that just freaked the hell out of me. That was a lizard coming out of somebody. Oh, I don't know what on earth that was. Okay.
she's. Oh, there we go. She's handing me business cards. So excuse me. I have to give a. Oh no, I don't have my cards handy. Sorry.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, Alyssa, which is fantastic for the audio version, let's talk about pre-reg.
Sorry.
It's okay. Let's talk about pre-reg because
yes.
It is something that we've been speaking to a bunch of people, and it's sounding around the water cooler that it is going to happen sooner rather than later, even possibly this month. So it's now time to start looking at the best way to prepare. Even as pre-reg, if you have a badge already from 2015 available to take part in the sale, which is going to happen shortly for pre-registered badges, it's looking like it's going to be as much of a crush as before. Now, this is where it's always going to be good to try and get yourself into a badge team. So do head to Friends of CC forum to try and get onto theirs, or if there's any groups that you're part of, do get into a badge team because it is possibly the best way to get secure your badge. Now, as it happens, we have one or two people who are paying attention to pre-reg on the Q&A, including Jim Watari. Hello, Jim, who's watching and has noticed, and I don't know if Alyssa knows about this yet, so.
Oh, thank you.
No, let's see what her reaction.
Thank you.
Oh,
sorry. Can you repeat that? I was interacting with a cosplayer.
That's the polite way of putting things, isn't it? Yes, she was. Okay. Just to let you know. I
didn't hear what Jim's question was.
Yeah. No, it's more of a statement. The member ID page is now currently down.
Oh my God.
Already.
Really?
The member ID page.
Oh my God.
Now,
excuse me for the minor. you know, they could be. Is there any kind of an error message?
That's something which I think I shall do. I will check right now, because just to, if you are watching this and you're wondering why we're kind of getting a little bit panicked about that, the member ID badge, the member ID page, is the kind of the gateway into San Diego Comic-Con, and at the end of the day, what they say is you can't actually apply for a new member ID while they're preparing for the badge sales, and if the member ID page is down, yep, it's saying the system is offline. Let me see if I can just go onto my page here.
Well, they might, Leonard, they might not have just paid the bill. This is the thing. I think people are getting, too worried about it. They've just got to put, they've just got to put $1 in the meter, and it'll be back online. So.
Okay.
It could be that, and that's why I was asking if there was some kind of an error message, because that has happened before. However, if they have a more programmed response, or a more dedicated response to being closed, then that means that we're imminent.
Okay.
We still have got the two.
It is saying on screen right now, the Comic-Con International Member ID system is temporarily offline for some routine scheduled maintenance. Okay, we expect to be back online sometime Monday morning. Thank you for your patience. So, who knows?
That doesn't, So hopefully it's not the big one.
Fair enough. And I am so glad that I also did a screenshot there, and I'd taken off the YouPorn.
I saw it. I saw it.
Damn it. Okay. Thank you very much indeed for pointing out, Jim, and indeed we've got other people who've been watching out for that as well. Carlo Dyer, thank you very much indeed for pointing that it's coming back tomorrow. Brilliant. So yes, it's more a case now then of preparing for the sale. So do head yourself to whichever groups that you communicate with on Facebook, Google+, whatever, and do start looking into badge teams. What else can we do now then to start preparing for San Diego Comic-Con 2016? I think certainly we can be looking at I know that people are talking about possibly looking at hotels at this point, but hotels are very expensive, and they can be slightly awkward to get hold of those. So condos are certainly something to start looking at. And if you're going next year, Mark, what kind of preparations do you start making at this point?
Good question. Let me shuffle some paper. I don't know. I'm just going to panic all the time. It's fine. Flights, obviously, you know as well as I do, Leonard, that flights from the UK are very expensive. So you've kind of got to get a handle on the type of price you're going to be paying anyway. There are sales that come up, obviously, in the new year and stuff like that, but it's nice to have a handle on where you're going to be going with that sort of price as well. And as you said, hotels. I noticed a couple of people talking on Twitter earlier this week that they've already got a hotel booked that is free cancellation as well. So there are hotels opening it up all of a sudden. It's just keeping your eye out. It really is.
Just very quickly, I know Alyssa's using a handheld mic. Have you got your microphone right next to your mouth at this point?
I do, but I can't.
Thank you very much.
However, I don't. I'm not using the handheld mic. I switched to the other one so that I'd be able to talk to you better.
Got you. Just thank you very much.
So I can't talk to.
Thank you very much indeed for the heavy breathing. Myself and Mark absolutely appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I am carrying a heavy backpack.
I'm aroused. There's not a great deal else I can.
It doesn't take much, does it? Jeez.
Good response. Thank you for that. Okay.
Oh, the stagehand does come out, especially day 3 of the con. You're going to get those kind of comments from me, so you might want to be careful. Just saying.
Right, so let's see what else we've got on the Q&A. I mean, what preparations are you doing at the moment for 2016? We're talking, yeah, so far away, but it's not. It does roll around quicker than you can imagine. Like I say, we're at 50 weeks and counting. So, yeah, it's not that far away, he says.
The other thing you've got to do as well, Leonard, is you've got to sort of start planning your vacation time as well. This is the thing, you know, even though, as you said, we're talking about 300 plus days away, if you want to go, you're going to have to get that holiday form into your bosses or anything else like that early, because it is the time when obviously universities break up, you know, colleges break up, everything else like that. So people who have children are going to get that holiday probably first before you, when you're even thinking, oh, shall I get badges? Just get it in, you know, that's
Absolutely.
the main thing. Get that time in, and then if you don't get badges, you can cancel it. But it's major important that if you get badges, you get a hotel, you get flights, and then all of a sudden you can't get time off work, well, you know, everything's just disappeared down the drain.
Absolutely. Don't forget then the dates for San Diego Comic-Con 2016. July 21st to the 24th, with preview night on Wednesday, July the 20th. So yes, get yourself into work and get those holiday dates booked in. The idea was for myself, because it's something that myself and the Condo team were discussing, about spending quality time in San Diego, because it is absolutely a gorgeous city to go and visit. The idea was that we were going to do a week or so prior to San Diego Comic-Con and enjoy ourselves and then ramp into the con. Except Star Wars Celebration is the weekend before Comic-Con. So it looks like I am going to be shipping my wife off to San Diego to enjoy herself for a week while I'm stuck in London. I'm definitely going to be attending Star Wars Celebration. There she is. We've got Alyssa on screen.
I figured you'd appreciate a variation going on.
You. So,
it's interesting that you're letting your wife go to San Diego without you.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be okay. I think I'm going to be fine. Because the Condo buddies, they'll just have a blast. They'll just wander. They'll have a great time in San Diego. So I'm heading to a couple of cons between now and 2016. Yes, Star Wars Celebration is off the cards, but I'm also going to be heading to the Lakes International Comic Art Festival, which takes place pretty soon. And then in November you have Thought Bubble, which is based in Leeds in Yorkshire. Both of those are very artist and creator-based conventions. What conventions are kind of on your plate, Alyssa?
New York Con is the highlight of my fall. It's a 5-day event. We've even got a number of people coming in from SoCal. TJ, Transmute Young, and Jopari, I think, are both making the big trip. TARDIS Mom is also coming. So looking forward to that. I think some of it, for some of them, it's the first trip to New York City, so that's always interesting. I feel totally comfortable in New York, unlike San Diego, which I tend to get turned around in. So I'm half of me is hoping that I could drag some of them off to go to dim sum in Chinatown on Sunday morning. I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not, but you know, and you got to do a New York cab ride at least once while you're there. The other things I'm looking forward to is going to do this Granite State Con coming up in a couple, 3 weeks. Some people were talking about Rhode Island Con. Apparently they've rented they've got the large convention center in downtown Providence, Rhode Island, and given the problems they had last year with the ticketing, it will be interesting to see how how that goes. So I may take a trip down there, but that's all the spring. That's all the fall stuff. I have this wild notion that what I may end up doing is doing both WonderCon and C2E2 next year, if I can swing the hotel costs. So I haven't told my my spouse this yet, so we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure how this is going to fly, but I would love to. I just got photobombed. I would love to get to both of those and actually do a comparison. We're talking about on the forum. We're talking about trying to get a little bit more organized in our reports from the con segments, and I would love to do so at WonderCon they did it this way. At C2E2 they did it this way. Which one was better? Kind of thing, which would be interesting. Yeah.
That'd be excellent.
So that's what I'm looking at before the next San Diego.
Okay. I know exactly what you mean about trying to get reports in for the different cons, because I think a lot of people are looking at other cons and other events to talk about, possibly as a variation. I know that people are saying, okay, I want to mix it up. Instead of doing San Diego, let's check out the other cons. And it's always the advice that we can provide, that if you feel that San Diego is just getting a little bit too big for itself, or if it's something that, I mean, I find it interesting that you turn around and say that San Diego is the one that twists you around and you feel comfortable in New York. For myself,
I know.
New York seems like a very stressful city to me.
It's interesting. New York, but I'm talking more of the city. Like, I'm totally comfortable being dropped anywhere in New York and figuring out the subway system and all of that. I mean, of course, there's some areas that I don't want to go to and all of that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I spent 5 or 6 years there when I was growing up. So I think that it's just the inherent differences between being an East Coaster and a West Coaster.
Okay. Have you been? I can imagine that Mark's being the sophisticated suburbanite that he has been to New York.
No. Where are these rumours starting from? I've never. No, I haven't been at all. No.
I kind of picture you in a scene in Sex and the City as the Brit that one of the girls goes for. Oh well, never mind. Right. So, what cons are you looking at, Mark? That's coming up on your horizon.
Well, obviously you were saying Star Wars Celebration. I will be at that definitely on the Saturday and the Sunday. So that's before obviously San Diego next year. Well, before that, I haven't really got anything set in stone. Over here in the UK, one of the big convention organisers is a company called Showmasters, and they do a convention virtually every month. And it's more about meeting the stars and getting their autograph and getting a photo. There's not many panels that happen there, but if you want to get something signed, that's where you can go. So it's a lot easier for that, and you get time to talk with them as well. So I kind of keep my eye on where they're going next. So I think they're doing Sheffield and Belfast and Cardiff and Bournemouth, and then coming back to London in November. So I keep looking to see who they've got, and it's sort of always a last-minute thing as to if there's somebody worth going, we'll go to. And earlier this year, I went to MCM Expo for the first time ever, and I'll absolutely go back because it was a really nice place. There was lots of room, even though it was quite busy, and they'd sort of got it organised nicely, and that's very much more organised and tailored towards manga and comics in general, but they still have, these people from TV shows and from film and stuff like that. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on because they certainly are growing very quickly.
Because I know that you went to, this was the London Film and Comic Con that you took part in, or you went to, attended a couple of weeks back. What was that like?
Well, let me preface it by saying I was incredibly jet-lagged by the time I turned up. And I was only there on the Sunday, and I was actually going as press. I was going as press for Flicks in the City, who I know you're a fan of, Leonard. If people don't know who Flicks in the City are, please check them out. They've got all of the panels from San Diego Comic-Con on there. You can watch the whole panel. It's a great website. But the people who run it were having a nice holiday in San Diego, so they asked myself to go along and do the Sunday. But it wasn't really geared up for press. It was very difficult to get any interviews at all. It's a very long story as to why it happened. But in general, if you're going to get something signed, or if you just want to wander around and stuff like that, it's really impressive now that they've moved home as well, because they used to be at Earl's Court, which has now been demolished after about 50 years of being there, and they've now moved to Olympia. So it's this brand new home, and it's much bigger as well. It's great if you're a punter, you know, if you're just going for the autographs, if you're going for the panels, great. If you're going as press, it wasn't as successful as I think that was what came about it. But you know, they had Michael J. Fox, they had Christopher Lloyd, they had basically the whole of the Back to the Future crew there doing a reunion. They also had Sigourney Weaver and Bill Paxton. You know, these are huge names. This is the names that they're attracting now. So it's not small fry anymore. They've got some huge people. I mean, I was fortunate enough to have a good 10-15-minute chat with Clifton Collins Jr., who most people might know from Capote or Pacific Rim or anything like that. And he was great. He just sat there and we were talking to him and everything else like that. It was great. Sat there talking to Ray Park as well. He was very good. Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. We're having a chat about Twin Peaks coming back and her working with David Lynch. So, you know, there is that scope to actually just stand there and talk to people. It's nice.
Fantastic. Sorry, I did have to mute Alyssa there for a second because it was a bit more heavy breathing again. So I do apologise for that. Alyssa, let's see if I can try and bring her back at some point.
Sorry, no worries. Am I unmuted now?
No, yeah, you're unmuted now. Sorry about that.
Can I just mention one other thing? Actually, it's not a convention or anything like that, and I know they haven't confirmed it yet, but I know that the makers of this very, very good documentary that I'm holding here, right in front of me here, are actually coming over to the UK at some point. I've got one of those! And we'll be putting on screenings here in the UK. So if you haven't seen this documentary, The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, then they are coming over here to do a few, you know, gigs and whatever else, so do look out for them, because both myself and Leonard met them in San Diego.
I've got one of them.
See, there we go. But both myself and Leonard met them. They are lovely, lovely people, and the documentary is fantastic as well. Yeah. So you know. Yeah,
I'd certainly recommend that. If you head to anenglishmaninsandiego.com, I've actually put a post up with my interview with John Schnepp and Holly Payne, who are the director and the producer of that documentary. Very, very cool indeed. And I've also put a review as well. Right, so let's see, because one thing that I got asked a lot at San Diego was, is there any conventions in the UK that even come close to San Diego in terms of, if not in scale, then certainly intensity? And I think the ones that I could certainly think of are London Super Comic Con, which takes place in March, which is very much geared towards comics and comic creators, but that's held at the XL Center. Certainly not in any way the kind of scale of San Diego Comic Con, but I think that when it comes to the amount of people that go there, it gets as crowded as. And I think possibly the other one would be London Film and Comic Con. That's also based in London, and like Mark says, that is more. That's Olympia, isn't it?
Yeah, they've now moved to Olympia. This was their first year there.
Yeah, cool.
Which it's an interesting venue. It's in Kensington, so it's in a very, very posh area of London. So you can imagine loads and loads of cosplay people walking through, you know, these £4 and £5 million houses, and everybody's sort of dressed as Darth Vader and everything. It's a very interesting look in that area over that weekend.
So, if to answer the question, then certainly not in terms of, because people have been talking about coming over for Star Wars Celebration and saying, is there any other cons that happen in the UK? I think it's interesting that I think there's MCM Expo for next year, for 2016, has actually been programmed directly opposite San Diego Comic Con. So people here in the UK, we're kind of coin in the air at the moment about which one we're going to be attending. So that's certainly a question that's happening at the moment. I'm going to unmute Alyssa so she can join us again. So
it's fine. That's fine. Absolutely. Okay. Cool. You seem to have a great report from Thought Bubble last year.
That is something that I'm going to do my best to have a little bit more live broadcasting from. It's a little bit awkward because obviously the time when Thought Bubble is on during the day, obviously you guys are going to be asleep in the US. But for me, it's my favorite con. It really is. Because you've got nothing but creators there, lots of big names that really are very enthusiastic about being there as well. There's definitely a vibe at Thought Bubble, slightly tempered over the last couple of years as it has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, but the artists are still kept very, very happy, and I know for a fact that, say, Kieran Gillen still calls it his favourite convention, and he just convinces as many people as he possibly can. Andrew English has just mentioned on the Q&A, it's London Film and Comic Con that is the same time as San Diego next year. Thank you very much indeed for that. So yeah, I knew it was one of the two. Right, so what I'm going to do is we are going to start preparing our posts on our various sites about what we now need to do to start preparing for Comic-Con for 2016. Here in the UK, it's always a good idea if you've not got your paperwork in order, always good to have your ESTA all sorted out. And even just the basics. For example, if, just off the top of my head, if, say, your wife, for example, picks up your trousers or your jeans from a busy day at the con and decides to put them in the wash, just spitballing here. If, say, for example, that person has their passport in their jeans and washes their passport, do make sure that your passport is in good order for 2016. So you don't leave that to the last minute. Do it now, and get your passport sorted out. That's just off the top of my head, as an example.
It's a good example. It's almost like it's real life or something like that.
You think? Yeah. Well, I've got a good imagination. What can I do? I can just.
I think also, just to go on about plane flights, I think Southwest is going to be opening up their spring flight schedule, which is Southwest is a major carrier here in the States that allows you 2 bags. Bring stuff back from con without having to pay an arm and a leg for it. I think they're opening up their booking on August 11th.
I know that we've also got 1 or 2 sales coming up for Virgin Atlantic, and I think British Airways are planning theirs in the next 3 weeks as well. So keep your eyes open. If there is with Virgin Atlantic, is there any way that you can do a refund with those, or can you can you buy the ticket and then decide you're not going to go and still use that as store credit kind of thing? With Virgin Atlantic, do they allow you to do that? I'm not entirely sure. We're going to have to do some research into that. Cancellations of plane flights. The thing is, I always book my planes through, some nefarious sites that I get from Skyscanner. So depending on how the refund is on that. Going back to preparing for hotels, we've got a comment here from Harris Flanagan, which frankly I'm going to have to do some research into. Speaking of hotels, don't forget to check Airbnb and check for yachts that have cabins available. My friend got a cabin for only $100 a night. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Okay, I'm going to have to look into that.
I mean, that puts a whole new meaning on when this is rocking, don't come a knocking. So
yeah.
Yes.
We're going to go there. Are we still?
Yeah,
I heard a number of people talking about renting out yachts. Insofar as there was somebody who was trying to pull it together. Most of the yachts I've heard about are a little higher price than $100, but absolutely worthwhile keeping your options open for that. And especially if you've got a group of people, say you've got 6 of your closest buddies, and are looking for a 5 or 6 person place, that's great. I mean, because with a lot of the Airbnbs, you can fit at least 5. You can fit 5 people in there and really knock the price down to, I don't know, $500 for your whole stay.
Cool.
So Airbnb is cool.
Yep. Also, we've got one.
Can I just say something just about Airbnb? A lot of people said that to me. So at the start of this year, when obviously I knew I'd got badges, signed up for it, found a lovely couple of condos, sent them messages and everything else like that, because it was a good price, and obviously we were staying for 9 days as well. And they came back to me and said, no, they've got it wrong on there. The cost during Comic-Con is triple that. So,
yes.
It is very, you do have to be very careful with those people. There's some sneaky people on there, very, very sneaky.
There was one place that I was looking at recently that was a first-time renter, so they had 0 feedback, and they were renting it for too good a price, and they had an instant book, and I'm just like going, they don't know what they're doing. They're probably not even going to be in business next year. I know I'll get my money back, but I'm not even going to go put myself in the headache of that. There's also worthwhile mentioning that that periodically, that maybe once or twice a year, hotels kind of mess up and they forget that it's San Diego Con. So it's worthwhile keeping a pretty close eye out on some of the hotels. I'm hopeful that I have a room already booked. And that's all I should say.
Fair enough.
We'll see whether or not they honor it. I'm hoping, because it's a king single, and I could do this myself, and I could be like, I don't have to have a roommate. Yay! So, if I could somehow convince my son not to come.
Okay.
Well, he does have a girlfriend, so there you go. We'll see whether or not he messes it up, the relationship up between now and then. If you know my son, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Well, let's say, let's put fingers crossed, and let's just hope that he manages to keep this together and not open his mouth too much.
Yeah, right. So the point being is to keep your head, keep your ears out, be aware, track these things, sign up for notifications, and that's the bottom line there. Because there may come, like last year, another mess up with Hotwire, and you get to book a downtown hotel room for a decent rate.
It's always good to keep your eyes open at this point. Also, we've got 1 or 2 people pointing out some things. Thank you very much indeed for jumping in on these. Thank you. Talking about, say, for any vacation plans that you have for San Diego and for Comic-Con, considering that Dan Berry is saying, just to keep this in mind, the week before San Diego Comic-Con is also the Major League Baseball All-Star Game in SD. The actual date of the game is July the 12th, so if you're a big sports nut, maybe something you want to do. If anything, if you get the chance to experience Petco Park at full tilt. So that could be something to go and check out. Paris Flanagan saying NerdCon is a few weeks away here in San Diego, in Escondido. Looks like more geared towards cosplay, but not sure. It's going to be the first year. Let us know what cons that you're thinking of attending between now and San Diego, because it is all about looking forward and kind of marking time between now and then. Okay, so I think that's us. Like I say, there's the forum that's going to be doing its bits and pieces when it comes to. Go on, Alyssa.
Marking time. Marking time.
Well,
for San Diego.
Well, no, I mean.
Yes, San Diego is the big one, but there's a lot of other cons.
Yes, but.
Sorry, I just had to jump in there.
It's okay, but when it comes to, it says down there at the bottom of the screen, an Englishman in San Diego. This is my focus right there. Right there. It says.
So there.
Okay.
So there. Absolutely.
Yes. So if you want to go and attend that piddly little New York Comic-Con, go for it. Knock yourself out.
Come over and say that. Come over here and say that.
Listen, I would absolutely adore to come to New York Comic-Con. I know that there's a bunch of people that know that I would like to go.
Yeah.
Right, so what we're going to do is we are going to be, I think all of us, going to be posting preparation posts. As I know, at 50 weeks out, it seems like a long way out. But with pre-reg just around the corner, it is a constant thing to look forward to San Diego. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today. We're going to be doing a regular weekly thing of this. This is episode 1 of the new run. But next week we are back, same drill, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. And we are hopefully going to be getting some very cool guests over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we're going to be joined by Flicks in the City, which will be very cool to see. As Mark says, do check out their website, because if you have a look at the recap post that H this year, they were there and they shot some amazing footage of Hall H. I don't know how they did it. We're going to try and find out with a bit of a chat with them. We're also hopefully going to be getting Sneaky Zebra on the Hangouts as well. If you check out their videos on their channels. They also worked with Nerdist this year as well, so they're always a good bunch to talk to, so we'll go talk to them. And this is the one that I'm going to try and get landed in, hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We're hopefully going to be getting a representative of Marriott Marina, the hotel, to come and talk to us, talking about the expansion and the new building that they're putting in their particular neck of the woods down on Convention Road. It is hopefully going to be something that is going to allay a lot of fears about additional rooms, additional panel rooms at San Diego, considering that at the moment the plan is to have a 6,000 to 8,000 seater arena, but we want to find out how that's going to split down, what we're going to do with the space. We're hopefully going to be having a representative from Marriott talking to us within the next month, so do watch this space. So
I did also talk with a lady, my contact at CGC, and she has agreed to come on and walk us all through how to submit a signature, you know, the gross differences between a 5.4 and a 5.8 kind of, you know, grading thing. She can't get very particular. The other thing is Kevin, and I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, Boucher, who's big into Dragon Con, is agreed to come on next week.
Excellent.
So we're going to do, I hesitate to speak for Leonard, but he's going to want to talk about the preparations for Dragon Con at the end of August. Cosplay, amazing cosplay, and hopefully he can talk to that.
Excellent. Brilliant. It's sounding like a rather a full setup, isn't it? So yes, while it may seem we're away, there's still lots to talk about. So plenty of guests on the way. Do keep tuning in to Talking Comic-Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. And hopefully we're going to be getting back to getting some prizes giving out as well as of next week. So watch this space. Thank you very much indeed for your time. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, please do subscribe to either the YouTube channel or to the iTunes channel as well. And yeah, do come and join us each and every Sunday to talk about San Diego Comic-Con. Back again next week. Thank you very much indeed to my guests. Have yourself a great day, Alyssa, because you've still got the rest of the day at Boston. So what are your plans today? What else are you going to go and look at?
You know, I'll probably do one more tour of the comic area and the retail stuff, because I didn't get a chance to really spend much time there. Then I am probably going to grab myself a couple of sandwiches and do the 3-hour drive home.
Sounds like a fun way to spend your Sunday.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff, thank you. Where can people find you online, Alyssa?
Friends of cc.com/forum. Look for the new front page. I've got a meeting scheduled with my technical guy today, so hopefully we're going to get that ironed out and start doing the install for stuff. I'm also on Twitter at Friends of CCI.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed, Alyssa. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And thank you very much indeed for your time, Mark.
No problem, sir. No problem.
Where can people find you? Because you can just about see it on the screen, but it's slightly cut off at the bottom.
People can find me on Twitter at Mark_Searby, and that's about it. Well, no, actually, that's not it. Actually, I'm on Friends of CC forum as well, and also, if you're in the UK, every Thursday night, I'm on Anglian Radio talking about the weekend's films as well. So, you know.
Very cool.
What's been your latest review?
Well, we were off last week because the gentleman who I present with, he's on holiday, very nice, so I was off last week, but last week I went to see Pixels, the Adam Sandler film.
Marks out of 10.
Let's not talk about it. Yes, it is that bad, yes. But next week is a very good week. Tomorrow I'm seeing what I'm fingers crossed is going to be one of my big films of the year. I'm not going to say what it is. And then Tuesday I'm seeing Trainwreck, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Okay. At some point this week, I don't know if it's opening here in the UK or when it opens, but I do want to. I want to see Fantastic Four.
Oh, it opens Thursday here in the UK. Here in the UK.
I want to see it. I'm optimistic. I think it's because I'm a fan of Josh Trank. So there we go.
Yeah,
I have to admit that I'd like to see it just for the guy who plays Hulk, whose name I can't recall, but I do really like him. So,
you mean the only. You mean Jamie Bell?
The Thing. Sorry. Yes, James Bell. Exactly. Marvel on the mind. What can I say? So, but that may be the reason why I see the Fantastic Four. But I still haven't even seen the Ant-Man or Jurassic Park or any of it yet, so I'm hopelessly behind.
You need to sort that out, Alyssa. Ant-Man, very good.
I do. I'm a bad geek. Yeah. Bad geek.
So what was that?
I'm shaking my head and hanging it in shame.
Yeah. Ant-Man, very good. Jurassic World, okay. Yeah, it's okay.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay,
No.
let's go to Mark Searby really quickly. Ant-Man.
I haven't seen it.
Jurassic World.
No, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. Regardless, listen, look, everybody's going to say, well, look at the box office figures and everything else like that. Yes, but we're paying more to go to the theatre and the cinema nowadays than we ever were. So inflated box office doesn't mean that more people are going to see it. And on top of that, Jurassic World is not a dinosaur film. It's a monster film. They make a monster. It's Cloverfield. It's not a Jurassic Park film.
Oh, you see, you've got to love a film pedant. You've got to love that. You've got to love it. Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Mark. Myself at Englishman SDCC on the Twitter. You can also find me on Google. You can find me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram now. Oh, never said I'd never do it. But there we go. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Yeah, you can pretty much, if you just type in an Englishman in San Diego, you can find me wherever you want to. Thank you very much indeed. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.